Good morning. Happy Thursday. Oh man, just setting off, pressing all sorts of buttons in the car. Rear window heater, seat heater, mirrors folding out. Here we go. It's quite early. Don't know what the time is. Just coming up to 7 a.m. and it's dark. It's really dark. Oh, happy October. Just check the house is locked up and away we go. Trying to get ahead of the curve. If I leave the house 7:30, I get to work for 9:15. If I leave the house at 7, I get there for 7:30. Yeah, the nature of the commute, eh? All good fun though. I was just listening to an episode I recorded yesterday, and I noticed there was quite an annoying sort of sound in the background, more annoying than my voice. So yeah, if you do listen to that, I do apologise for the quality of the sound. I'm not quite sure what it was. I was wearing a necklace. No, I was wearing a lanyard with me badge, and I think there was a little metal clip rattling. I don't know if that was causing the sound, so I've removed it today. So I'm hoping the noise has gone. But it was, once you home in on these sounds, it gets a bit irritating. So yeah, I do apologise anyway. What I'll probably do is repeat most of what I said in that one. I won't. I'll try not to repeat too much now. Of course, I'm not expecting you to listen to every single one of the episodes, but hopefully it's not too repetitive. Okay, so just going on to the bypass, and it's very busy. Okay, you're turning left so I can go. Nice. Yeah, so there's quite a bit of traffic on the bypass, but I mean, from about 4 a.m, 5 a.m, you can hear it in the distance. I'm only about 50 metres away. I live only about 50 metres away from the bypass. It's like a dual carriageway. And it's, yeah, you'd start hearing cars around 4 a.m. And yeah, there's a good few of them at the moment. Oh, that was quite a harsh stop. And my alarm's telling me to do something. Can I have bed? So I have 3 alarms: 6:26, 7, and 7:30. Hopefully the first one does it. I went to bed pretty early last night now. Towards the end of the week, especially with on-call and stuff, I started feeling very tired. Plus there was a 50-50 chance I'd be woke up at 4 a.m, so it was handy going to bed earlier, I suppose. But yeah, I didn't get cold. Whee! Which is always good when you don't get cold, of course. I'm going to go the M50 way. The computer said it was a minute slower. I'm just actually on the roundabout above the M50, just looking down at it now, and it looks quite slow going actually. It is moving though, so I'm still going to go for it, I think, for the day that's in it. I got my seat heater on and it's just now getting nice and warm. Great for a bad back as well. That's not mentioned in the instruction book, but one of the lesser known features of the seat heater. Yeah, it's pretty good now. Okay, just stopped again. 2 traffic lights on the roundabout. Never liked traffic lights on a roundabout. I think they're a really bad idea, but anyway, with the second one, just waiting to turn off. And have some coffee as well for the day that's in it. So I hope that annoying sound in the background has gone. I'm going to make the effort now to keep my window closed as well, because there's some awful annoying sounds coming from the window region. So, and off we go, onto the M50. But I was talking yesterday about NOx particles and taxation and stuff on cars. You know, I mean, first world problems, isn't it? At the end of the day, I could just get rid of it. I don't know if there's a bus I could get, actually. As you're probably aware, I don't like spending time with the general public if I can help it. And the problem with things like a bus is you're also squashed together, aren't you? So I'm not sure if there is a direct bus or not. And the Lewis is a non-starter because it's a different line. That would be a disaster. And the other thing, of course, is moving. I could move and live nearer to the office. I wouldn't mind living near Dundrum Town Centre Shopping Centre. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. It's handy anyway. If it was walking distance, there's some nice restaurants there. You may have heard of Jamie Oliver. He's one of these, celebrity chefs. He's pretty much been on TV now for 25 years, a long time anyway. I think he did something called a Naked Chef. He always had this, what would you call it, like a rustic style, just throwing things together and out it comes, I mean, he did a series called 15-minute meals, which I like the sentiment of being able to make a meal in 15 minutes, and there'd be a little timer going as well. But there was always ingredients I didn't have in the house, and whenever I was in a supermarket, I always forgot to buy. And then when you had a rush of blood and decide I'll get some garnish, get some seasonings, you buy all these spices and stuff, fennel and all sorts of God knows what else, and then you never use them, It's just a waste. So it's always hard when because it's all about the garnish and all about seasonings, isn't it, with food to make it taste nice. And I'm absolutely rubbish at that. Because you feel like you have to have a cupboard of this stuff, and then he mentions one that you don't have, of course, and it's it's a faff and it's an effort, and I do work quite a lot, So Jamie Oliver, he's had a bit of a bad year this year in terms of his other businesses, his non-television businesses, because obviously he's several shows. He seems to have several shows on the go at any one time on the television, and there's a lot of reruns going back to when he looks a young lad. He doesn't look that young now anyway, but so he had some restaurants, Italian restaurants. Jamie's Italian, I think they were called, in the UK, and then he had some foreign ones. There's one in Ireland, actually in Dundrum Town Centre Shopping Centre. So I think all the ones in the UK have closed now. I think the reason for that is that there's not much loyalty in the British public when it comes to eating out, and I think there was a lot of competition, and for whatever reason anyway, they couldn't get the business, so they folded they closed, which is a bit of a shame. But the one in Dundrum didn't. The foreign businesses haven't, and by that they must be doing well, separate business entities and all the rest of it. So I have been in Jamie's Italian in Dundrum during the daytime, actually, for a cheeky lunch once, and it was lovely. Obviously no wine was taken because I was driving, but it was very nice, a nice place. It was looked a bit like a kitchen inside, food was lovely, a little bit pricey now, the more expensive end, but not ridiculous, and they had a good selection of food, good selection of wine and all that sort of stuff. So it's a place I'd probably like to go in the evening. It's sort of harder to get to, and I can't drive to it and all the rest of it. So, but I was thinking that if I got an apartment near to Dundrum Town Centre Shopping Centre, it would be very handy. Just have a wander down and get something nice to eat. And there are a few restaurants there as well. That's not the only one, but that's the one that I've been to fairly recently, within the last year. So it's not bad. So anyway, I'm on the M50 behind a bus. I don't want to use the word slow lane. All the lanes are pretty slow today. None of us are at the full chat, at full speed. But we're going fast enough to, good progress. That's all that matters. So I am behind a bus. It's quite a new bus actually. It looks nice. I haven't got a bus in many years. I think the last bus I got was at an airport from the terminal building to the. I think it was in Naples. From the plane to the terminal building, I got to catch a bus now. It was a bit of a faff. Having more coffee. I did enjoy Naples and Italy. I think I'd like to spend more time there. I didn't really have much time to enjoy it. I'd like to go back now. Obviously, the food and the wine is a massive pull. I did drink a little bit of the local red wines, and it was quite a nice experience. And they weren't too expensive either. I mean, even the duty free at the airport wasn't too bad. So definitely a place I'd like to go back, I think, and spend a bit more time. It'd be nice to explore around there. And of course, you've got there's Vesuvias there, isn't there? Mount Vesuvius is there, and all that sort of stuff, and Pompeii. So it'd definitely be nice to go back anyway and spend a bit more time there and see what's going on. More coffee. Can't believe it, the bus has pulled out to the middle lane. He's going for gold. I'm staying there on the inside because my turning's coming up. 500 metres. Google Maps is telling me 13 minutes in orange and 6.9 kilometres. Estimated arrival 7:20. But that's not bad actually. I was out before 7 a.m, which was a bit of a surprise. I have a habit of repeatedly asking Alexa what the time is in the morning, to the point where she starts going, do you want me to set you an alarm? It starts getting real, hoity-toity with me, But anyway, that's Alexa for you. I have got an Alexa Echo next to the bed with a little screen on it. I use it I spent a lot of time looking at the time during the night, and I think that was keeping me awake a little bit. So having the clock there, I can just glance at it and see what the time is. My eyesight isn't great though, so it's not always immediately apparent what the time is when I look at it. But Alexa starts putting these little phrases up on the display. The time's still there, temperature, whatever, but it'll put up these, because it's got a little round display. It's the Echo Dot with a little round display, which seems ideal for. I think it's designed for next to the bed, to be honest. It's dead handy. But so little phrases come up about, why don't you try saying this and saying that, which I think is quite nice, because I never know what to say to her half the time. And one phrase came up, said, why don't you try Alexa, take a selfie, And I did. I said, Alexa, take a selfie, and it took a photograph of me in bed with this quite bewildered expression, looking quite raggedy late at night. Yeah, it wasn't very nice. So when I was expecting a selfie of Alexa, turns out there's a camera. There's a camera in the bloody thing. And I took her a picture of me looking absolutely dreadful and bewildered. It's like, when someone takes a photograph and you wasn't prepared. I'm not talking even about a selfie face. I mean, you just didn't realise your photo was going to be taken. And you've got your resting face on, or something like that, slightly bewildered. Yeah, that's how it looks. So that's been deleted now. But so apparently I can take selfies, which I'm not going to. Just crazy. Okay, so I'm off the motorway now, rapidly heading towards Dundrum Town Centre Shopping Centre, and I just realised it's still dark. It's not, the sun hasn't rose yet. It's now gone 7:10, and it's dark. You need your headlights on, the street lights are on. Oh, it's October, isn't it? Now, it's the 10th of October today, the year's 2019, by the way, and what's interesting about the 10th of October, pretty much every year, the temperature drops to around 10 degrees in Dublin. That's a little bit of a ridiculous fact. Anyway, so this is the time of year when tenants get condensation starts to build up on the inside of the walls. It goes mouldy. They complain about damp and all sorts of stuff. And it's basically the wall is 10 degrees centigrade or colder, and that's very good for condensing humid air. So any water in the air from your breathing, sweating, showering, whatever, that comes out on the wall and can make an awful mess, especially if it's left there. It can go awfully mouldy and all the rest of it, So ventilate your houses, people. That's what you need to do. I know it's cold. I know you don't open the window. But say when you're not in the room, open the window for a bit. Hour or two. That's all you need, Oh, even just a little bit. I know a lot of windows you can open them, they're still, Anyhow. So we're still moving, which is always good, isn't it? It's a bit scary how quick we are moving, but it is very early. An awful lot of cars around. Obviously a lot of people come earlier, get out earlier and earlier so they can avoid some of the traffic. Just hope I can get home earlier as well. That's always a problem. You get in early and you end up going home late. So end up doing, 11 hours or something silly. It's not nice. Very tiring. Okay, so here we are at Dundrum Town Centre Shopping Centre. Interestingly, more people are going the way I'm going at this time than straight on. Normally straight on's busier later on, so it must be a case of people who go this way, they get out earlier to miss the rush. This is exactly what I'm doing, so it sort of makes sense. I don't really have a problem getting up early, and normally, sometimes I'm up too early and that's the problem. I end up going back to sleep, but it can be hard when you're working hard and you're quite tired, Okay, so Just queuing at the William Dargan Bridge traffic lights. There's two sets of traffic lights very close together. And the second set, well, heading north, the way I'm heading at the moment, is always a bit sticky. There's some motion, but there's, quite a few cars around today. Sort of moving anyway. So, as it is Thursday, plans for the weekend. I think I'm going to have to do something with the car this weekend. I'm going to try and fix the... well, I'm not going to be able to fix it completely. I have a problem with my trunk, my boot, which you probably, if you've listened to any previous episodes, you know all about. But that's the electrics are shorted out to the lock, so that it won't close with the electrics connected. So I disconnect the electrics and it'll show, and I can open it with the key. So what I'm going to do this weekend, I think, is just disconnect the wire, the offending wire that's supplying the the current to trigger the solenoid to open the boot. I'm going to just cut that wire, and hopefully that'll reinstate the sensors and it'll know the boot's shut and all the rest of it. So I'm not sure that it will. If it doesn't, I can see the wiring loom and have a rough idea where it might have a problem, but it's all taped up, the loom. I'd have to untape it all and inspect it, and that'd be a bit of a faff, but I'll have a look at it anyway. I've also got to reset some warnings on the car as well. It also needs a service, but it still drives. It still drives very well, actually. And then there's the cheap tyres on it. Oh man, yeah. Anyway, maybe next year I'll change cars. I have no idea what car I'd get. I do like the executive saloon. Anyhow, we'll worry about that later, I think. So that's sort of the plan for the weekend. I'm not sure I'll be going anywhere of note. I haven't anything planned at the moment. A couple of little projects I'd like to work on. Technology projects. Thinking of buying a load of Raspberry Pis and constructing a cluster. Do Kubernetes or something on it. I was thinking of doing that, and building containers and all good fun. I feel there's certain detail I don't know about it. I certainly know from an operational perspective about Kubernetes. So it'd be nice just to get a few of these things, and they're so cheap. They're about £40, 45, 50 euro each. So I could easily get 8 or 9 of these things, and you can power them over Ethernet. So I'll probably do that. Get a little switch, power over Ethernet, and stick them all in. But it'd be nice because we live in times when you can do that. You can actually build, something similar to an enterprise. Cluster enterprise system in your house. Wow, And then what would I use it for? I don't know, general tinkering. I certainly wouldn't mind having a go and just playing around with it. Seeing what it can do, I suppose. I did see a YouTube video of a guy, he had 4 of them, and he was doing prime numbers. Prime numbers seems to be the discovering prime numbers seems to be a big thing. But it'd be something to do now. I think I've avoided doing stuff like that because it's like taking my job home with me, and I like a bit of a break in the evening. I'll break whenever I can get it, and not doing it 24/7. So, if I can carve myself out a bit of free time to do this thing, and that's the plan, So, obviously, if I'm not in the mood for it, I'm not going to do it. Long days, eh? A lot of work, and it's still dark. 7:20. I think there might be a little bit of something going on in the east. Might be a little bit of something happening there, but this is it now, I think, until March, April. It's going to be dark mornings coming in at this time. So Oh, happy days, not. I think the coming into work in the dark and going home in the dark, it's not much fun at all, you know. Moving nicely now. We'll whiz past the Central Mental Hospital and now heading up towards the housing estate, the other side of where work is. You probably can hear the engine there. It sounds very loud today. Maybe I'm just very quiet. I hope I got rid of that funny noise the recorder was picking up yesterday. I do find some of these things quite annoying. If you're wearing headphones, it might be particularly annoying. Okay, just turning into the estate. I think my disdain for speed bumps is legendary, and here comes one now. Oh, right. Yeah, the problem with this estate, obviously if I don't get to work quick enough, and I have today, but if I don't get in early enough, I don't get a parking space. So I park in housing estates over the road from where the office is in the car park, you know, and it can be up to a kilometre sometimes I have to walk, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, is it? But you're parking outside somebody's house, you know, not if they're own drive and everything. But I know I came to the car, I was quite late leaving yesterday. I came to the car yesterday evening, and you know, they'd obviously come home and hadn't put the car in the drive, but they'd come right up against me. Now I was clever enough to leave a bit of space, so I did manage to get out. But can you imagine if they block you in outside that house and you've got to knock on the door? No, I'm not going to go. You've got to knock on the door, and I nearly went then. They're all going too quick for me today. I'm trying to come out to the main road, but having to knock on the door and say, oh, please, can you move your car? I know it's outside your house and I don't know you and I shouldn't be parking there. I mean, it is a public road though, isn't it? I mean, that's the other thing I would say. I could have gone then. Cyclists, there's everything. I'm sticking out into the cycle lane. They're not going to like me. They probably swear at me, give me a dirty look. I'll just look away. Oh, they got past. Oh, more cyclists. Wow, they're really hard to see in the dark. Man, they're hard to see. Okay, traffic's building up, which is good for me, because I can get out now, I think. And he's off. Woohoo! That was a bit cheeky there. The problem is when there's very few cars around, they drive a lot quicker. But I managed that one without him hooting at me. And I'm into the estate. Woohoo! Oh man. Well, it's 7:20 and there's, well, 10 spaces at the front of the building. They're all full. 7:10. Wow, what is wrong? Anyway. Yeah. 7:10, eh? What a way to live your life. Okay, the other parking spaces near the rear are pretty much empty. Apologise if I sound a bit strange. I'm doing a lot of intensive manoeuvring. Okay, gonna do a reverse Beijing turn. And here we go. Okay, reverse now. And turn. I'd like to say that was perfect. It very nearly was, actually. I'm going to straighten her up because I'm just a perfectionist. So those two cycles at the bike shed, they must be here all the time. There's no way people cycling at this time. Okay, I made it to work. Happy days.